Hey guys, and welcome to the vlog. I owe you guys a series of explanations on where I've been and what I've been up to. But before that, let me give a shout out to my good friend Jake Carrillo, for watching this, my longtime friend, who got me off my ass to shoot this video and get it out there and create something, because I needed to be reminded that there are people who watch these content and people who enjoy it, and that's why I do it. Alright, that all being said and done, where have I been? What have I been up to? Well, I've been up to a lot of different things lately, but to best describe everything and that's been going on right now, I want to do it with a word, and a really interesting word that I just learned today, and that is saudade. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing that totally correct, I apologize. It's a Portuguese and Galician word that has no direct English translation. But what it does mean in a sense is it describes a deep emotional state of nostalgic or profound longing for an absence of something or someone, and typically with the fashion or the knowledge that you know that thing is never returning. Now, I like that key part of it. That's a hefty definition, I know, but I like the key part of it. It's an absence of something, and a longing for an absence of something or someone. And for me, recently, that's really where I've been. I've been in this nostalgic feeling for something that not didn't in the past exist, but it's a place I want to be. An absence of something, and I can't pinpoint or formulate words to tell you guys what that something is. I just know I want to be there. So I left you guys with the last vlog. We're achieving a goal that I set out for 8 years ago, and it took me 8 years to achieve that net worth goal, and I worked very hard for it. And after such, I kind of went into this, you know, this I can't even describe it. The state of like, where do I want to be next? Where do I go from here? This is a really big achievement, and I celebrated and let that sink in. But now it's kind of like, where do I go from here? This doesn't mean this isn't the end. It's time to progress and decide where I want to see myself in the next 5 and 10 years. So that's really the kind of state I've been in, if anything. Outside of that, to quickly summarize, I've been working, and a lot of work is always a good thing. That's not something to complain about. That's money, that's income, that's good for the business. Outside of that, reaching the goal that I hit, actually, I was interviewed by a couple of sites. I was interviewed by Doers.bz, a guy named Buntu, really great interview. I'll link down below. That got me some local traction once it was shared all around Facebook and stuff like that, to meet somebody here locally who does some business, and I partnered up with him to talk to some pretty big Asian companies, in terms of breaking that language barrier and so on and so forth. So pretty big potential projects. I'm going to be doing some consulting work from some pretty big businesses here locally, after they discovered a little bit of what we do here and what I do online. So that's a whole new experience and opportunities on its own. So I'm really looking forward to that. Now, all that said and done, that means kind of twice the workload, and really prioritizing what I want to do. But it also taught me to kind of, instead of saying yes to so many things, it's really obviously about saying no to the things that, you got to say no to a lot of things and yes to the right things, and prioritize what it is you want to do, what it is you want to be spending your time on, and not necessarily just for the money factor, but also what you enjoy doing and what you think is going to be better in the long run. And lastly, outside of work as a whole, my friends have been coming back from their college, semesters and so on and so forth. So I'm starting to see a lot of them, some of my friends who I haven't seen in 2 years. So of course, being the 19-year-old in me, I want to see them. I want to have a good time. I want to go out with them and stay out and have fun and do all these things. But, I have this obligation now of work, and that's the reality of adulthood and all that kind of settling in and managing a business and owning it. So it's kind of a lot about this balance, because either I'm working so much that I neglect friends and family, or I'm not doing any work at all and I'm just having a good time all the time. And, too much of both is really bad. Alright, so that all said, I've come up with 4 realizations as of late, and things I'm trying to implement, or measures I'm trying to implement to fix said things. Number 1, Socrates said it best, and I'm paraphrasing this in the fact that, knowledge is knowing that you know nothing. And I've come to the fact and realization lately that I know nothing. And not just in terms of general knowledge, but about people. You think you trust people, you think you know people, and sometimes you're just really, really wrong, and it sucks, but that's okay. You got to learn that's how you move on, and the only measure I can really implement there is realizing the fact that I know nothing, and that gives me everything to progress on, if that makes any sense. Number 2, I'm falling into this spiral of consumption over creation, and anytime that happens to me, I totally freak out, and I've been realizing it more and more lately. And I thought I was doing better, and I just really let my creativity stop flowing. I stopped making vlogs, I stopped doing videos, and not just stuff for work. I just mean creating in general. It's good to consume content, it's good to share and read, but you gotta have your creativity and creative outlets, whatever that is for you, music, videos, so on and so forth. And the only reason I can see to fix that is by creating more. Stop caring about whether it's crap or not, whether, I'm my own biggest critic, but I got to just go out there and create. And that's only the best solution I can really think of. Number three, whether it's greed or ambition, I want more out of life. Now, what I mean by this is, I want more experiences, I want the luxuries it has to offer, I want more opportunities and all of this. And I know that this isn't something that's handed to you, it's something you got to go out there and get. But I want so much more. And I know I'm young and I know I have a lot of time, but the thing is, time waits for nobody. And I have so many things I want to do and so many things I want to learn. And the best way to only, the only measure I can implement there to implement a solution is just to go out there and do things that scare me and do things that challenge me and chase new things that I'm passionate about, whether or not I think I'm going to be successful in them or not. Last but not least, tying into number three, I'm only one person. I can only do so much, and I have to realize that, and I've come to terms with that. So implementing measures like outsourcing, delegating, hiring new people, getting rid of my weaknesses and focusing on my strengths. I've even went as far as hiring somebody here personally that I know, a good friend of mine, that will be serving as I don't like the word secretary, I like the word personal assistant, I guess. I don't know, either or is kind of, makes me sound like a douchebag, but regardless, it is going to be a paying position. I'm going to be hiring a friend I know personally, and normally I like to keep those separate, personal and work, but in this case, for a position like this, I think it's better I hire somebody I know a good sense of their character and can trust. So they will be helping me with local businesses, local obligations I'm going to have going on, and just scheduling and stuff like that. Basically, the things I don't want to have to worry about and focus on, I'm going to be off-putting to her to implement and take care of that. That way I can focus on what I'm good at, and that's what I'm talking about, getting rid of my weaknesses and focusing solely on my strengths. Overall, I'm on this mission lately to really maximize my efficiency and minimizing my stress, because lately it's been a lot of maximizing my efficiency while maximizing my stress. I am one person. I can only do so much within the 24 hours I have allotted. And yes, I can be doing more than I am right now, but that's by being efficient, by being smarter and working harder in a way, but not pushing myself too much. Having a couple weekends to myself, because I'm working too much on weekends, getting more sleep than I originally would, getting a little bit healthier. I'm going with a good friend who watches the vlogs, Brendan, every now and then to the gym, and it's small things like that. Small steps to bigger promises and bigger things. Yeah, I guess that's the best of explanations I can give right now. As usual, thanks for watching, and I promise to have a ton more content coming out. I know it's one thing for me to say all these things that I'm going to do to fix, problem X, Y, Z. It's another thing for me to go out there and implement them, and I want to be somebody who sets an example of, rather than talking so much about what I want to do and what I'm going to do, just doing it and letting that speak for itself. So stay tuned for more. Stay tuned for more of, not just more of everything, because I think that a 24/7 job that we should all have, and it doesn't pay, sorry to say, is bettering ourselves. It pays in another way, not in forms of currency, but bettering ourselves. That's a job we should have 24/7, 7 days a week. And I can only hope to better myself in multiple ways over the times to come. So that said, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next vlog.